Hello, friends and family, and welcome back to the 2022 Myrtle Beach Open, presented by Gatekeeper Media. Driven by Innova. We are here at the Splinter City Disc Golf Course in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I'm Holly Finley.
And I'm Felix Vega of Ace Run Productions. Holly, we're down to our last 9 holes here this final round. It's been a battle. It's been a lot of back and forth. I can expect more of the same here finishing this final round out.
Party's half over. Let's check out the top 10 leaderboard. Paige Shue and Deanne Carey tied for the lead at 15 under par. Rebecca Cox only 1 stroke behind at 14 under.
We're going to be starting things off here on hole 10, a par 3 coming in at 288 feet. Multiple gaps to choose from left or right of this center tree to try to get your birdie look. Turnovers, hyzers, straight shots, forehands, just about anything will work to get you a look getting into the screen here for the 2 to start off your back 9.
We've got Deanne Carey up first, taking the left route with a turnover shot. It's shaping up really nice. She'll have about a 25-foot putt for birdie.
Holly next up on the box here. Looks like you're opting for that left-hand side as well. Very subtle turnover.
Oh, little tink.
Very nice. Let's get another look at that.
Oh, I got a run back. Yay.
Watch this one from the catch cam perspective. Again, big thank you to Doggone Good Disc Golf. A beautiful turnover. Just that subtle fight back at the end.
And I know some people don't like it when I commentate on myself, but I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all I threw a Roadrunner.
Beautifully done.
Paige Shue up next. Also opting for that left-handed turnover route, but it is holding the turn, going a bit further out than Deanne. She'll have about a 35-foot putt for birdie. Now, this is the same mid we've seen Rebecca throw all weekend. She's had great success with it. Perfect turnover flight. Look at this, straightening up, flattening out.
Yeah.
And that's about a 12-footer. She went past the basket.
Some really good drives on this hole.
Now we've got Paige Shue up first.
Oh, and she flies by it.
Airballs it over the top of the basket with a bit of distracting music in the background next to this busy highway. But Deanne Carey says it doesn't matter to her. Smashes that birdie putt. Deanne gets another one on the team.
Paige to maintain, and that one a little low.
That didn't look like Paige's normal putt, really. Now we've got Rebecca Cox for birdie. She gets it.
Very nicely done there. Beautiful drive. And a nice, almost tap-in birdie for you there after hitting the pole.
Paige Shue dropping in an unfortunate bogey. And that will drop her 2 back away from Deanne, now in 3rd place, and Rebecca Cox sliding into 2nd place. Let's check out hole 11, a 543-foot par 4. This is one of my favorite holes on the course. A lot of alleys to choose from. Just choose a distance driver, send it as far as you can in any direction, really. There's a lot of space to work with. If you can make it to the road, I'd consider that a really good shot. It'll give you about a 200-foot upshot into the green. And again, there's a lot of paths to choose from. You can go straight, high right, little sidearm chip shot. I'm expecting to see some threes here, Felix.
Absolutely. This is the lead card for a reason. All of you are very capable of getting this birdie.
Deanne Carey sends a strike high down the main middle gap. And this is a different setup than we saw her have in round 1. She'll be further left, but that's still a perfect way to play the hole. There's a lot of room for error on this hole.
Beautiful hyzer flip here out of your hand, finishing left and getting a tree roll back and still rolling. Back into the middle.
Lost about 80 feet of distance on that one.
Yes.
Rebecca Cox sends a low shot over to the right side. I've seen her throw that disc. It doesn't have a strong finish, but did you see how much ground play that got? 150 feet of skidding on the ground.
Yes. It kept going and going.
Didn't even matter that it was low. Paige Shue with a beautiful shot.
Pushing that right side and also getting some ground play there. And
She's made it to the road.
Yeah, she's near where Rebecca was, a little further up.
And I'm trying to send a driver, just punch it through the corner, and I did not judge the distance correctly. I needed about 330 worth of power, not 280. I'll have to play it for par. And this is Paige Shue's second shot.
Subtle turnover out of her hand.
What a perfect upshot that was.
That was such a high-level shot.
Ooh, I love this positioning Rebecca Cox has. It's super open to the basket.
She goes right up the gut. Just needs to miss that one. And that ground play brings her inside the circle to about 15 feet. And looking like she's got a hyzer around that initial tree in front of her there.
She's made it onto the road, so good distance, just a bit over on the left side. Just using that Valkyrie, looking for a flare skip.
Getting some ground action, and that's gone
It's a little
deep.
wily.
Yeah.
That's a long putt.
Some paparazzi behind you. Up over the top of that leaning tree.
I decided we're not going for 80-foot birdies, Felix, so we just laid that up for par.
Probably a smart play.
Let's see if Carey is going for 80-foot birdies. She is.
Oh boy.
She sends it
Just
over the top backside. She'll have about a 20-foot comebacker. Carey for par. Hole 11. She gets it. No
Got
big
it.
deal.
Confident stroke all weekend continues.
Rebecca Cox, a 15-foot birdie putt. She sets up, switches her foot to a different position. Sticks it. Count it.
Great drive, great upshot, solid putt. Same recipe for Paige as she gets the birdie as well. Tap in par for you. Saw Paige Shue and Rebecca Cox getting the birdie on hole 11. Morgan Lynn was the third birdie on this hole. One of the Lynn's twins.
It's not work to me. It's play. You know, all the time. I'm playing every day as far as I'm concerned. We believe we have a disc for everyone. We have the widest range of weights for anybody, and we have the most different models. That's why we have so many different types of flight characteristics and plastics for those flight characteristics. I'm always thinking about what else can I do? You know, or can we do this better? Are we doing this good enough? You know, that kind of thing. And that's for me, that's fun.
We come to hole 12. We're 2/3 of the way done after this hole here. Par 3, 390 feet. Pretty straightforward shot, low ceiling the entire way. It's a lot to ask to get your disc to go this straight for this long. There's also out of bounds just behind the basket there. I'm expecting to see some straight shots going up the gut here, finishing left or right, and then some approaches there, playing this for par. No shame in that. Difficult hole for sure.
And aside from going long, there is a lot of room for error here. You can pretty much just land anywhere and get up and down. Rebecca Cox sends a nice shot. It's going a bit over to the right side. That's perfectly fine. It's just an open field over there.
Absolutely. Just have to avoid this initial line of trees here and just punch up there.
That was a bit low and it turned over early, but once again, it's in bounds and it's fine.
Deanne, who finds herself in a tie once again, but this time with Rebecca Cox, pushing this to the right-hand side. A little bit shorter than Rebecca's drive was. Pushing more of that left-hand side there.
Paige doing a bit of a little hyzer chip shot, and she sneaks in the circle. She'll have about a 20-footer. Deanne's nice standstill backhand putter up shot gives her about an 8-foot putt.
Seeing a sidearm approach here from Holly. Very nicely done.
Yeah, a little pig for you. Becca once again taking no part in any long putts as she pitches it up for a drop-in par.
This is Paige for par.
And I always like to get it as close as possible on this green because it is, every time I play here, breezy by that basket.
Mm-hmm. Center. Beautiful putt there.
Deanne Carey captures her par putt. We've got Rebecca walking in to clean up hers, and Paige Shue looking to clean up her bogey putt here. Unfortunately, taking her further away from the lead. Now we've got a tie between Rebecca Cox and Deanne Carey, and Paige Shue is now 2 back after 12 holes here at the Splinter City Disc Golf Course. Let's see about hole 13. This is a great 318-foot par 3 for a right-handed player. This is our dream shot. It should be just a stock hyzer. Punch it right into that sunlight on the right side and let the disc do the work. You can get it to turn left in the air. You can do a hyzer flare skip. We've seen a lot of ground play here if you don't lawn dart it right into the sand. This should be a birdieable hole. I did see one girl take the left route, which really surprised me on day one. Rebecca Cox up first. And that's a bit too right and not enough hyzer angle. Can it work back for a putt?
It gets back.
I mean, I was really surprised how much that disc hyzered out.
It did.
You said that was a bear?
That's the bear, yeah. It's pretty stable. It's an 8-speed with good stability.
I'm learning that. Deanne Carey throwing a Valkyrie. And it goes straight as well. I expected more of a hyzer finish on that. Deanne Carey will be about 38 feet out for birdie.
Just moving to the right-hand side nicely and finishing back to the left like you had mentioned. Beautiful shot there on hole 13. Paige
Shue rounding out the card here on 13. She sends her drive a bit right and low. And she hits a tree.
Slammer
up shot. It's fun to learn everyone's discs after commentary and playing with them every weekend. And Rebecca Cox told us beforehand she was going to lay it up.
Okay.
So as we've learned, she's not taking any unnecessary risks this weekend. Very conservative play from Rebecca. Deanne Carey for birdie from 45. She gets it.
Oh, goodness.
A jumper from Deanne Carey. Yeah, you better give us the run back.
Absolutely. We need to see that one again.
Look at it go.
Right side. Catches.
I didn't know it was a single chain right side.
Beautifully done. Rebecca lays up. Deanne runs it, being a bit more aggressive, and she gets rewarded. Beautiful birdie for Holly there.
And I wonder how Rebecca felt after that, if she thought her decision was still wise, or if she wished she would have at least given it a halfer, or what.
Yeah, there's still some golf left. We're on hole 13, but we are running out of holes, and to give up strokes like that this late in the game can definitely come back to bite you.
But Rebecca has stuck to her game plan so far. It's been conservative. She's making the circle putts. She's laying up everything long. And, well, heck, she's in second place.
Yeah,
so
it's working for her so far.
It is.
That brings us to the fun hole number 14, par 3, 316 feet. Again, there is a bounty on this hole, I believe, for $1,000 if an ace is hit during this tournament. You can choose to go around these two trees. This is not a double mando, but most players are going to go right in between these two, pushing their disc to the right-hand side and letting the fade naturally bring it back over to the left. There is out of bounds left and out of bounds long. That ditch is a bit of a catch-all there for a lot of drives, but it's only about 15-20 feet from the pin.
Deanne Carey up first, or as we like to call her, D. She sends a beautiful drive.
Simmer.
Woo! Skips by the basket, rolls near the OB.
Oh boy.
Trickles back in. She's safe, putting for birdie.
Send yours right up the gut there. That looks a bit low. Just kind of settles right in the middle of the fairway.
Rebecca Cox, we saw her get caught up over on the right-hand corner on day one, and she sends the drive to the same spot.
There's a
too
magnet
low
over there.
and no left finish.
Yeah.
Paige Shue.
Ooh,
Now, I
that.
like this line. High right,
Bring it
chop
up.
hyzer,
Oh, just in front and hanging out there by Deanne.
leaps over Deanne's disc. They'll both be putting for birdie.
Beautiful soft approach there, putting yourself inside, well inside of 20. Again.
We don't have to tell y'all. We already know what Rebecca's going to do. Safe layup, drop in par.
Paige needs this if she's going to put any pressure on Deanne or Rebecca to close out this tournament.
Little left.
She had such a strong front nine, and it's almost...
She had the 5 birdies in a
Yes.
row.
It's almost like something, a switch got flipped somewhere after hole 9 or hole 10.
We've got Deanne Carey for her birdie putt here on hole 14.
This will be a big momentum putt here. Rebecca has already laid up.
And she gets another one. That's 2 in a row where we saw Rebecca lay up, who was in birdie position. Deanne Carey went for both putts and made them.
Stone cold. Par putt finds the center of the basket for yourself there. Paige and Rebecca will have some tap outs here to close out hole 14.
Becca runs over and drops in her par.
That lead extends to 2 strokes now.
Once again, I'm just wondering, is Rebecca pleased with the layup, or is she thinking maybe I should have given it a half bid? Or are we still thinking smart play is the good play? Here we are, hole 15. This is one of my top 3 favorite holes here at the Splinter City Disc Golf Course. A 333-foot par 3. I also just like all the threes. A couple different ways you can play this hole. Main fairway on the left instinctually feels like the proper way to go, but I've found the only way for me to get an easy birdie is to take the right gap, sneaking through these corner trees. That'll give you a way to slide up to this dirt mound and have a birdie putt. I actually learned that from Deanne here last year as she sends her Roadrunner out. It's a bit too high, and she gets twiggled, drop down on the left side.
Yeah, there is that low canopy to contend with as well in this hole as we just saw. This looks like a better height. Get some flare towards the left.
Rebecca Cox up third. And she told me she wanted to take the right gap, miss the line, but it doesn't matter because she sneaks up there for a birdie putt.
You got to figure at this point she's at least got to be trying to run that putt, right?
I mean, I don't know. Now, Paige Shue does take the right route, and she gets up there for a birdie putt as well. Deanne Carey sending her Invader up there.
Okay. Thought that was going to be a little shorter than what it actually ended up being.
About 25 feet.
Yeah.
Now, this is Paige Shue for birdie. From about 65 over the top of the basket, she goes long. She has about a 45-foot comeback.
Pitching right under the basket. I got like that Las Vegas challenge feel on that putt from Paige. Very reminiscent to the one that she won the playoff on. Rebecca is running it.
She went for it, and it looked slightly timid, like 95%.
There's definitely rolled away potential on this, and Deanne.
Solid par save from Deanne. I'm glad Rebecca went for that. I'm glad to see the courage of going for that elevated putt, especially knowing she needs that birdie because she's laid up the last two. And that is no.
Takes a step back and gathers herself. That can shake your confidence.
There it is. And I mean, just to notice that she went for the putt, missed the comeback. And that's, you know, she wasn't going for the other ones.
Right.
So she just dropped in the par, and it just makes you think. And maybe that's why she laid up the previous two. She knows what works for her.
Right.
And just like that, Deanne Carey now has a 3-stroke lead as we go into hole 16.
Hole 16 is a par 3, 282 feet. The danger is on the right-hand side. That tall shul there can gobble up your drive and put you in a difficult position to get up and down for the par. We're going to see, I'm assuming, 4 righty hyzers trying to attack this pin. That log there on the left-hand side does help to work as a catch-all to keep your disc from getting into too much trouble on the left-hand side. Coming down the stretch, this is a birdie that you almost have to have.
Deanne Carey up first. She sends her shot wide right, high over these weeds. Hyzer's in left. She goes long of the basket. She'll have about a 33-foot putt for birdie. I'm following the same line.
That's a beauty. Saw Rebecca go early left round 1 on this hole. Much better line this time.
Yes, good correction.
Gets a little bit of a stunted skip there, but still puts her at about 25 to 28 feet. Paige pulls this one, hits that tree early and gets knocked into that shul.
Paige with her second shot barely over the top of these weeds, and she does not get inside the circle. She'll have about a 35-foot par putt. Currently 3 strokes back from Deanne Carey. She knew out of her hand it wasn't in. She knew out of her hand.
That's not the putt you want for par in that situation coming down the stretch. And she's still got some work to do coming back on the next putt. Deanne here for the birdie can really just Almost put this away at this point.
And Deanne Carey goes for it off the top band. And I think it's worth noting that Deanne, I mentioned it earlier, she does watch the scores. So she knows she's in the lead, and she's still going for these birdie putts here at the finish. Rebecca Cox, that putt did not look confident from her. It was a little low, little slow.
Oh, and Paige missing left. It almost looks like she's fighting to find her release point on her putts at this point. Holly here for birdie. Beautifully done. It's got to feel good to get that one after round one not getting it.
Absolutely. Had a disc change, and it was a good change. It also helps to watch what other people do, and think about it when you get to see it more than once.
Yes.
Rebecca Cox cleans up her par, and Paige Shue gets an unfortunate double bogey here on hole 16.
There you see Deanne with a 3-stroke lead with just 2 holes left to play here in this final round.
Let's check out hole 17. It's a little shorty, 258-foot par 3, many routes to take to the basket. I like the main middle route with a mid-range that has a lazy finish. You can throw it straight and get a putt. You can also take the right route for a hyzer. You can do a little turnover on the left route. It's a lot of different ways to get the birdie here. This is one you really don't want to miss out on. If you're not getting the birdie, somebody else is.
That's a safe bet. Pushing that right side gap beautifully with just a subtle fade, like you said. Can't draw it up any better than that.
Deanne Carey up next, also taking the middle gap. We saw her get the birdie in round 1. She's in the bullseye.
Rebecca, a little late flip on that one, and it's starting to crash back.
Also in the bullseye.
Beautiful.
CTP for Rebecca Cox. Paige Shue with a nice clean drive after a bit of trouble on the previous putting green. That's a good looking shot. Paige Shue in the circle. She'll be putting for birdie. So that's 4 birdie looks from the card. Straddle birdie, count it.
That looked like Paige Shue's putt.
Right? And what a solid comeback. After missing a couple on the previous holes, it's like it didn't phase her at all.
Absolutely.
Boom, we're back to business. Deanne Carey up for birdie. She gets it. Another one. Another one.
2 for 2 so far on this hole for this lead card.
Rebecca Cox for birdie. She gets it.
Thinking we're gonna
Also,
see
after
it.
missing her putt on the previous 2 holes, it's good to see her come in with a strong, solid birdie putt.
Holly with this left to complete the star frame on 17. Never a doubt. Beautifully played hole by the FPO lead card there. All birdies across the board.
The elusive star birdie.
Big shout out to our Patreon community. Thank you, Ace Runners. Check us out at patreon.com/AceRunPro. Become an Ace Runner for as little as $3 a month. We have monthly and quarterly giveaways, exclusive and early access to content. Check us out at patreon.com/AceRunPro. This is a good finishing hole. Hole 18, par 4, 433 feet, a bit of a doozy. There are 2 different routes that you can choose to take. The main fairway seems to be the one on the left-hand side, having your disc finished to the left and giving you an open line to the basket straight shot or forehand. The right-hand side is also playable, but is much tighter and takes more of a technical shot itself. Really, it's all about getting into position off of your drive and then scrambling all your way up to the green here to give yourself a look for the birdie to close out this round. Holly up first here after birdieing the last 2 holes in a row. This looks very ideal. Center cut left-hand side. And you're going to have that straightaway gap there towards the basket.
Carey up next, throwing Hawkeye. She's taking that right gap. It's going towards that corner where we saw her land on day 1. Pretty much the same spot she was in on day 1.
Different disc, same result.
Well, she knows what to do from there.
That's true. Becca right up the middle.
Perfect shot. Look at that gap hit.
That is gorgeous.
Elite. She's very pleased with that.
Getting fist bumps all around. Well deserved.
Paige Shue also with the center gap.
Oh, it's leaked a little bit early there. Gets a kick though. Doesn't look like she's in too much trouble where she ended up. Looks like you're taking a bit of a turnover line here up this main gap. Holly Finley, what a shot! Unbelievable.
Oh, that's Carey's new dog. His name is Onyx, and he is super cute. Got to get those mid-round cuddles in. Paige Shue with her second shot. Solid, beautiful turnover right into the green.
Very nicely done.
Look at the spot Rebecca landed in.
You couldn't place your disc any better.
She barely has an upshot. Oh. And unfortunately, she does hit a tree on the way there.
Deanne, pretty much the same shot she had last time. This chop forehand over the top here.
Exactly. And all Deanne has to do is just get this anywhere in any part of the fairway. Play it for par. I know she knows the scores. I know that she knows she's in the lead.
Simple layup. No need to run that one.
Exactly. And Rebecca also opting for the layup. Going for her second place. Paige Shue for birdie.
Currently tied for third with yourself here. Inches away. It really has been a tale of 2 different 9s here between the front and the back for Paige. And Holly with this left for a birdie. I mean, you can't play it any better than you just did. That was a thing of beauty on hole 18.
Carey dropping in her easy par. Rebecca Cox with an easy par.
Paige with a par as well.
Look at those scores. Have you ever seen so many birdies?
Yeah, I'll put on a show this final round for sure. A lot of green on those score boxes. And Carey getting some congratulations and some love from the family there.
All right. Thank you everybody so much for coming out. I'd like to thank Gatekeeper Media, Innova Disc, and all of our sponsors for making this week possible. Without further ado, your 2022 Gatekeeper Media presents the Myrtle Beach Open, driven by Innova, FPO champion Carey.
I lost this one last year, but I said I was coming back and winning it this year. Thanks to all my sponsors, and thank you guys for playing. Both of you guys scared me a lot today, so yeah. And this one's dedicated to my dad, who passed away yesterday morning. So.
Good job, Deanne.
Congratulations to my teammate and friend Deanne Carey on her amazing victory this weekend at the 2022 Myrtle Beach Open. Let's check out the top 10 leaderboard.
See Rebecca Cox at 16 down. Holly Finley with that big birdie coming in the solo third. Paige Shue rounding out the top 4. The Lynch twins right behind. It was a beautiful event, an amazing weekend. We had incredible weather all weekend long. Sure, the mosquitoes were there, but everything else was fantastic. Holly, big thank you to you for not only playing in this event, but agreeing to do the commentary along with us. Make sure you check out Holly Finley on all her socials at
Finale Finley.
Congratulations to Deanne Carey again. Thank you to all the staff and crew of the Myrtle Beach Open. It's been a pleasure for us to be out here at this event. We hope to return next year and years after. Thank you, Patreon community. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And as always, from us at Run Productions, let's run it.